Why Hebrews says the greatest battle is not around you, but within you. Have you been fighting the wrong battle? Many believers spend their lives focusing on enemies, circumstances, and spiritual opposition. Yet the book of Hebrews repeatedly points to a deeper conflict. What if the greatest battle is not against the world around you, but against the unbelief, compromise, and divided loyalties within your own heart? Hebrews reveals that the greatest victories in the kingdom are not first external, they are internal. Before Yahweh entrusts greater responsibility, he transforms the heart. Before he strengthens the hands, he searches the motives. The believer who overcomes the hidden battles within will be prepared to stand firm against every battle without. It is easier to identify darkness in society than to recognize the subtle resistance still living inside ourselves. Hebrews calls us to examine our hearts daily, not because Yahweh desires condemnation, but because he desires transformation. The strongest believer is not the one who appears powerful before people, but the one who remains surrendered before Yahweh. One of the greatest assumptions in modern Christianity is that our biggest problems are external. We blame culture, we blame politics, we blame difficult people, we blame circumstances. While these challenges are real, the book of Hebrews continually directs believers toward a deeper reality. The greatest danger is an unbelieving heart. Hebrews repeatedly warns, "Take care, brothers and sisters, lest there be in any of you an evil, unbelieving heart that turns away from the living God." Notice where the warning begins, not with the world, with the heart. Throughout Scripture, Yahweh has always been concerned with the condition of the inner person. A divided heart eventually produces divided actions. An unbelieving heart struggles to obey, even when truth is clearly revealed. This is why the Israelites witnessed extraordinary miracles yet still failed to enter the promised rest. The issue was not a lack of evidence, it was a lack of trust. Miracles surrounded them, yet unbelief remained within them. Hebrews uses their story as a warning for every generation. Faith is not sustained merely by seeing signs. Faith is sustained by continually trusting Yahweh. The heart is the battlefield where every decision begins. Before compromise becomes visible, it is first entertained inwardly. Before pride is spoken, it is first cultivated silently. Before bitterness reaches the lips, it settles in the heart. This is why Hebrews emphasizes self-examination, not to produce fear, but to produce vigilance. The word of Yahweh is described as living and active, sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the division of soul and spirit. It judges the thoughts and intentions of the heart. Notice that Hebrews does not say the word merely evaluates our behavior. It examines our intentions. Heaven sees motives long before actions appear. Two people may perform identical acts of service. One seeks to glorify Yahweh, the other seeks recognition. Outwardly they appear the same, but Yahweh searches the hidden place. Another internal battle is spiritual weariness. Hebrews repeatedly encourages believers not to grow weary. Weariness does not always come from persecution. Sometimes it comes from disappointment, delayed answers, long seasons of waiting, repeated trials. Faith begins asking difficult questions. Has Yahweh forgotten me? Is my labor meaningful? Will the promise ever come? Hebrews answers by pointing believers toward endurance. Faith continues walking even when understanding is incomplete. Endurance is not passive waiting, it is active trust. The internal battle also includes fear. Fear magnifies uncertainty. Faith magnifies the faithfulness of Yahweh. Fear focuses on what may happen. Faith remembers what Yahweh has already promised. The two voices cannot rule the heart at the same time. Whichever one we continually feed becomes stronger. Another hidden conflict is spiritual complacency. Hebrews warns believers against becoming sluggish, not abandoning faith entirely, simply becoming spiritually passive. The danger of complacency is that it feels comfortable. Prayer becomes shorter, worship becomes routine, scripture becomes familiar. The hunger for holiness quietly fades. Nothing dramatic happens, yet something precious is gradually lost. This is why Hebrews repeatedly calls believers to draw near. Draw near in confidence. Draw near with sincerity. Draw near with perseverance. Intimacy with Yahweh is never maintained accidentally. It requires intentional pursuit. One of the greatest weapons against the internal battle is community. Hebrews instructs believers to encourage one another daily. Isolation allows hidden struggles to grow unnoticed. Encouragement strengthens weary hearts. Correction prevents drifting. Love restores those who stumble. The body of Messiah was never designed to function independently. Every member contributes to the perseverance of another. Finally, Hebrews directs every believer to fix their eyes upon Yeshua. This is the turning point of the entire letter. When our attention remains fixed upon ourselves, discouragement increases. When it remains fixed upon circumstances, anxiety grows. When it remains fixed upon Yeshua, hope is renewed. He is described as the author and perfecter of our faith. He not only begins the work, he faithfully completes it. Beloved, never underestimate the importance of guarding your heart. The greatest victories of faith begin long before they are seen by others. Allow the word of Yahweh to search your motives. Refuse unbelief. Resist complacency. Endure through every season with confidence. Encourage fellow believers and continually fix your eyes upon Yeshua. For the believer who wins the hidden battle within will stand firm in every outward trial and inherit the unshakable kingdom proclaimed throughout the book of Hebrews.